Today I will be sharing 5 new 3-ingredient desserts with you, and the best part about these 3-ingredient desserts is not that they are 3-ingredient, that makes them pretty cool, but it is that they are no-bake desserts. No-bake desserts are some of my all-time favorite desserts to make, just because they come together in minutes. They are so easy to make, plus they're always crowd pleasers. You could make them for a large amount of people and everybody will enjoy them. Let's get to my kitchen and let's get to no baking. To kick us off today, we are making this ice cream pie, and this ice cream pie is a total staple with my family. Grab between a 9 to 10 inch graham cracker pie crust, or you can make your own. Remove the plastic lid. You'll be using the plastic lid to freeze this just in a little bit, so set it to the side. But then you're going to grab your ice cream. I'm using Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream and sea salt caramel ice cream today, but seriously, use any ice cream you like. Then you're going to place scoops of the ice cream right next to each other in the pie crust. You want to make sure you kind of press down on the ice cream because you want to really fill it up with ice cream. The more ice cream, the better, in my opinion. But like I said, I'm using Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and salted caramel ice cream today, but you can make this fruity and use fruity ice cream. Put the lid on top and let this freeze for at least an hour. On the top of mine, I'm topping mine with crushed up Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, chocolate hard shell fudge, and caramel. But if you make yours fruity, you could top yours with fresh fruit like blueberries and raspberries. You can make this however you'd like. I love making it chocolatey, so that's why I made it chocolatey today. This pie is so versatile, and just about any time we have family functions, somebody always brings this just because it's so easy to make and so good. Now we're getting started on this no-bake fresh strawberry icebox cake, and this one's one of my all-time favorite no-bake desserts. Slice up about 3 cups of fresh strawberries, and then I have about 16 ounces of whipped topping right here. My whipped topping was still a little bit frozen. You know how sometimes it comes frozen? Well, mine didn't thaw out completely, so that's why mine is looking a little bit hard to spread right now. But just spread some on the bottom of like a 9x13 baking dish. Press some graham crackers over the top of that whipped topping. If your whipped topping is not frozen, it will be a lot easier to spread out, just to let you know. Then you're going to put more whipped topping over the top and then put about half of the strawberries over that. Then you're going to repeat for a second layer. Once you finish layering your icebox cake, you're going to cover this with plastic wrap and let it sit in the fridge for at least 3 hours. You kind of want everything to set together. The graham crackers will slightly get soft and everything just tastes so good. After it's been chilled for 3 hours, you could just serve this up. I like to slice into it. I'll admit, it's not like the most beautiful once you start cutting it up, but it is so good. The graham cracker kind of tastes like a graham cracker crust. It is just so refreshing and delicious. This one is so easy to make, but it tastes complicated and just so good. Now we're getting started on these peanut butter oatmeal bars, and oh man, these are the best afternoon snacks, or you could bring them to a party and everybody will eat them at a party within 1 minute. So to a bowl, add in 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, then add in 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Microwave this for about 20 seconds at a time, stirring it after every time it's out of the microwave until the peanut butter is smooth and the 2 ingredients are combined and no longer look like maple syrup and peanut butter. They kind of like, super silky. Now it's time to add in our oats. Add in 1 3/4 cup of oats. I'm using old-fashioned oats, but you could also use quick oats if you'd like. Give this a stir, coat the oats in that peanut butter mixture, and this is just so delicious. Grab a smaller baking dish, and then you're going to line it with parchment paper just because you want to be able to pull these bars out of the baking dish after they're hardened in the fridge. So now you're going to press the oat mixture just right into the baking dish. Press the oat mixture down pretty hard just so it's kind of like smooth on the top. Now I'll set this to the side. I'm getting started on the chocolate topping now. This chocolate topping is optional, but if you have a chocolate tooth like me, you will love it. Also, this chocolate topping makes these bars more than 3 ingredients. But to a bowl, add in 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, or you could use dark chocolate chips. Then add in 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Microwave this for about 30 seconds at a time until it is smooth, just like this. Now you're going to pour it over the top of the oat bars, spread it out. Then you're going to refrigerate refrigerate this for at least 20 minutes. If you don't do the chocolate topping on top, you still want to refrigerate this just so the oat bars set up. And then after 20 minutes, you could slice into your oat bars. Also, this makes for a pretty thick chocolate topping on the top. So if you're kind of a chocolate fan, but not a huge chocolate fan like me, you could always do a half a cup of the chocolate chips and then half of the coconut oil for less chocolate on top. These chocolate peanut butter oat bars are so easy to make. This recipe is also super easy if you want to double it for more people or half it for less people. You can make it for like a huge amount of people and it's still so easy to make. Like I said, you could add the chocolate if you like. If you don't like chocolate, of course you don't have to add it. I like to keep these in my fridge just so that chocolate stays like crunchy on top, but you could also keep these out on your countertop as well. Now we're getting started on this ice cream sandwich cake, and this is probably the best ice cream sandwich cake you will ever make. Line a 9x13 baking dish with parchment paper just so it's easy to pull the ice cream cake out of the baking dish in the end. And then you're going to place about 12 ice cream sandwiches down. You might have to cut them up just a little bit slightly so they fit into the baking dish. And then over the top of the ice cream sandwiches, this is totally optional, but you could spread some fudge sauce over them. That makes it so yummy. Also, this next part is optional, but if you'd like, you could also drizzle caramel sauce over the hot fudge sauce. And then over the top of that, you're going to spread some whipped topping. I have 16 ounces of whipped topping total, and you see it is super easy to spread. That's just because it wasn't partially frozen, so make sure it's not frozen. Anyway, you're going to repeat for a second layer, but for this second layer, over the top of the caramel sauce, I did sprinkle some mini M&Ms and some mini Reese's Pieces. That is totally optional. I had them on hand and I wanted to add them. I just thought it would add a nice touch, so I added them anyway. I'm adding more whipped topping. I'll spread it out. Now you're going to want to place this in your freezer for at least 2 hours. You want all of the layers to harden together. You want to make sure it kind of like turns into a regular ice cream cake, so that's why you want it to freeze for at least 2 hours. Once it's out of the freezer, just pull it right out of your baking dish. If you line it with parchment paper, it's just so easy to do that. And then over the top, I'm sprinkling mine with a little bit more peanut butter cups, M&Ms, and then a little bit more chocolate and caramel drizzle, but that is just to make it look nice. As you see, it looks gorgeous and like super high end drizzling it with all that stuff. So this is the ice cream cake. It was actually one of my little one's birthdays, so that is why I made this ice cream cake. She requested an ice cream cake for her birthday, but it came out so good. She absolutely loved it. I've been making this ice cream cake for a little over a year now, and I have made it for like parties. I've made it for holidays, special occasions, and birthdays. It is just so good every time. And then whenever I make it, everybody can't believe that it's made out of ice cream sandwiches. Everybody is just completely surprised. So it is such an easy ice cream cake to make, and it really does taste high end. It's beautiful too, which is a plus. Now we're getting started on these Oreo balls, so grab a food processor, a blender, or you could use a large bag. Add about 36 Oreos in. That's basically like 1 packet of Oreos. You could do these with like regular Oreos. You could do them with the golden Oreos. You could do like festive Oreos, really any type of Oreos. You just want the Oreos to be blended super smooth or like crush them super smooth like this. Then you're going to add them into a big bowl, then add in about 8 ounces of cream cheese. You want to make sure your cream cheese is softened. That way it is just like easier to stir. My cream cheese wasn't like softened enough, so I tried stirring it with a spoon and it didn't work out super well. So I used an electric hand mixer and that worked out really well. Just mix it together until the 2 ingredients are well combined, just like this. Now pull out a sheet pan, and you want to line that sheet pan with parchment paper or wax paper. Then grab a cookie scoop, or you could use a spoon, and you just kind of want to roll out balls onto your pan. Another idea is you could kind of like make them into shapes. So I kind of made one into like an Easter egg to show you guys, but you can make them into like footballs. You can make these into soccer balls. You could really have fun with them. You could really shape them into anything, and it works out super well. But place this in your fridge for about 30 minutes. While this was in my fridge, about done, I got started on my chocolate. So I have some white chocolate candy melts right here. I added into one bowl. Another bowl, I added in about a cup of some semi-sweet chocolate chips with a tablespoon of coconut oil. For the white chocolate, since they are candy melts, I don't need to add in any oil or anything. They really melt down super well. Microwave them for about 30 seconds at a time. After 30 seconds, you want to make sure you stir the chocolate just so it melts down evenly. And then once your chocolate is silky and smooth, you could dip your Oreo balls in the chocolate. I dipped some of mine in the white chocolate, and then I dipped some of mine in the regular like chocolate, the semi-sweet chocolate. Also, another thing you could do is you could crush up some Oreos and then you could sprinkle it over the top, especially of those white ones. The white chocolate just looks so pretty with that crushed Oreo over the top. But I did this for all of mine. If you want to do designs, like if you do soccer balls, you could do little designs on the top. Another idea is you could buy these cookie sticks, they're called, at the store. They're kind of like cake pop sticks. You could just push the Oreo balls in the little stick and then dip them in the chocolate, and there you go. You have cake pops now, so you could do whatever you like to these. After you're finished dipping them in the chocolate, just refrigerate them for about 30 more minutes. That way the chocolate will harden. The center of these are just like so silky, creamy. It really has the best consistency, these Oreo balls. And then the outside shell is like so chocolatey. If you are a fan of Oreos, you will absolutely love these. You could also do these with different types of cookies, and that will also work out well. But a couple of you guys might have remembered I made these on my channel years and years ago. I would really love to have you over here, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there. Bye for now.